These men whom we tend to call or group in an organization called the Illuminati. It's a loose-knit but tightly secretive organization.
Well, operating through the Council on Foreign Relations, through the Trilateral Commission, through the Club of Rome.
Over the years, different groups of these secret societies have emerged for specific tasks. And because the agenda has a specific time scale, and across the millennium is the time of introduction, through this century, this agenda has been advanced quicker and quicker and quicker.
Que savez-vous de l'organisation mondiale Bilderberg, moi j'en avais jamais entendu parler, qui réunit chaque année les personnages les plus influents du monde? Vous connaissez ça, vous? Non. Bon, ben voilà. Je connais Davos. En direct,
je connais l'Afrique continentale, je connais Davos, mais je connais pas...
En tout cas, je ne connais pas du tout cette organisation, donc je n'ai rien.
C'est une invention d'un téléspectateur.
Vous voulez vérifier comme test?
Je me méfie beaucoup de ces organisations mondiales qui, dans l'ombre, se réunissent et distribue en quelque sorte les dividendes et les rôles. C'est une vision de complot de l'histoire.
Monsieur, bonsoir. Les personnalités les plus influentes du monde réunies dans le plus grand secret à Genval, dans le Brabant wallon. Chaque année, le groupe Bilderberg se rassemble dans un pays différent pour discuter des grands problèmes internationaux. Des réunions depuis toujours entourées de mystères. À Genval, Grégory Willock et Denis Clocart ont pu apercevoir notamment la reine Béatrix des Pays-Bas.
Où effectivement, par exemple, le groupe Bilderberg réunit de manière annuelle, comme Davos, lors d'un meeting, 120 personnes, une centaine de personnes, et les participants sont des ministres, des dirigeants de multinationales, des dirigeants d'organisations internationales, et pendant 5 jours, surtout dans un hôtel isolé pour pouvoir parler à voix. Et ce n'est pas du tout médiatisé, effectivement, c'est un espace clos, un peu secret.
Security for these meetings is extremely tight.
In my experience, especially in Europe, I think the military itself is deployed. Then there's a large number of uniformed, armed cops.
Jim Tucker is a self-appointed Bilderberg watchdog. At the 1999 conference in Portugal, Tucker tries to get close to the hotel where the meeting is taking place.
Caught, right? We have snipers on top of those boulders up there. Anybody going over that fence day or night, they're going to stay over that fence. So apparently they take security rather seriously.
The reason for all the security, say the conspiracy advocates, is obvious.
I don't think 120 of the world's most powerful men get together and play pinochle.
That policy would be defined by a front group formed by J.P. Morgan and his colleagues. In fact, Morgan's personal attorney was founding president of the organization, the Council on Foreign Relations. Today, the CFR maintains that its goal is to increase America's understanding of the world. However, the actual objective of this highly exclusive club is revealed by the rare admissions of the insiders themselves. In the early 60s, a Georgetown University professor collects information favorable to the network of powerful men who founded the CFR. For 2 years, Professor Carroll Quigley is allowed to examine the confidential papers and secret records of this network. Quigley reveals that these men aim to create a world system of financial hands, able to dominate the political system of each country and the economy of the world as a whole. In short, they seek total and quiet control of the entire world.
Bilderberg plan for the whole world is nothing less than world government. They are the elitists. They feel they should run the world for their own selfish interests.
Ça fait partie des
trilatérale.
Oui, la trilatérale.
Et
Ça,
Bilderberg.
Et Bilderberg. Je pense qu'il n'y a pas de 10% des gens qui savent ce que c'est, mais moi je vais le dire ce que c'est.
Ah bah sur Internet, tout le monde sait ce que c'est.
Mais ça fait partie des fantasmes de l'extrême gauche.
Peut-être même Skull and Bones pour toi.
Qu'est-ce que c'est Quoi Ah ça je connais pas.
Tu connais pas Skull and Bones?
Non.
Tu fais semblant de ne pas.
Non, je ne connais pas, mais il y a encore temps à l'apprendre.
Bon, vas-y.
Alors, ce sont des conférences internationales dans lesquelles on parle des grands problèmes du monde.
C'est démocratique, tu penses, de faire ça? C'est-à-dire de se réunir entre gens qui dirigent dans différents domaines, politiques, financiers, et qu'on ait le sentiment.
Government, you will gain your new world order, but right as you grasp it, you will feel the floor beneath you falling. At the very moment you gain the apex of your power, at the very moment you climb to the summit of that mountain, your defeat is ensured.
They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained.
In order to eliminate this threat and to achieve their objective, the Masons have set about the boldest plan ever devised: the complete control of every aspect of human life, your life. And the weapons they are using against you are in your very homes, entertaining you and your children, and gradually indoctrinating you without you even realizing. In today's society, people are spending more and more time engaged with modern media. These media play a significant role in providing the basis for determining an individual's view of the world, but the goal is the same: to impose their beliefs, their ideology and their objectives on you in such a way that you begin to think your own.
We are being hypnotized by people like this. The greatest hypnotist on planet Earth is a oblong box in the corner of the room. It is constantly telling us what to believe is real. We're being programmed to see the world in a certain way.
What's the reason you not hear this kind of truth on the media in general? It's because the media is controlled. What it essentially amounts to here is that all the top media officials are members of these clubs, the Council on Foreign Relations, Tribal Leadership, Bilderberg, and so on, whose goal is to bring about this new world order.
Well found, it was only necessary to purchase the control of 25 of the greatest papers.
There are certain people that do watch like the news, which I think is rubbish as well, because it's just empty. I mean, there's a book called Watching TV News by Neil Postman. Very clearly articulates the fact that this guy's a PhD in communications theory at Columbia University, that you don't learn anything on the news. You, in fact, are actually dumbed down.
Now, many people, especially young people, accept unquestioningly the reality by the media. Popular culture, movies, television, music carry messages about how society works and how people should behave. And so entertainment is not value-free. It has ideological content. It presents a worldview that influences the people who watch the programming. Now, there are two primary means by which people are manipulated and controlled. One is very simple, very basic, and that is simply the control of information. Working as an editor, it was easy to see how simple it is to change the meaning of an event or change the meaning of what someone says through editing. And so I was very well aware of how plastic and moldable media reality was. But I didn't fully appreciate the extent to which we are all manipulated and controlled by media, including those people who work in it. Using television as the prime example of how mental programming and mind control works, television is the most powerful weapon of psychological warfare in history. In fact, the ultimate control is to control people without their conscious awareness. Again, television is the prime example. Think back to whenever you have observed young children or older adults sitting, watching television. They have this glassy-eyed, vacant look in their eyes because they are in a trance state, in a hypnotic state of mind. We don't see it consciously, but subconsciously, the repeating visual pattern of the flicker induces the trance state. And that's the basic principle behind hypnotic programming, is that you get the subject to focus the attention of the conscious mind on one of the five senses. So in the case of watching television, we're talking about the sense of sight and the flickering image. In the case of sound, any repeating sound pattern will induce the trance state. Now, why this is important is that we are more suggestible to mental programming during this state of mind than at any other time. We're very vulnerable to manipulation at this time because the first order of business for a propagandist or an advertiser is to create the circumstances that will induce a state of mind that is favorable to the reception of their message. And that state of mind is the hypnotic state of mind. Make television extremely important in this whole process of creating a unified mindset among the entire population.
The Crookes version of the cathode ray tube would become the most fundamental component in the development of television, devised 40 years later by the Scotsman John Baird. The Maltese cross is an ancient emblem used by magicians, Kabbalists, royal Satanists, Nazis, and the infamous American Phi Beta Kappa secret society. Crookes managed to project a shadowy image at the other end of the cathode ray tube, which was the first ever electrically created image known to man. In his memoirs, Sir William Crookes said that it might be possible for spirits to influence streams of tiny particles, an invention which would eventually enslave and hypnotize the entire world, was inspired in part by research into the spirit world.
Because the only truth you know is what you get over this tube. Right now, there is an entire generation that never knew anything that didn't come out of this tube. This tube is the gospel, the ultimate revelation. This tube can make or break presidents, pope, prime ministers. This tube is the most awesome goddamn force in the whole godless world. And woe is us if it ever falls into the hands of the wrong people. We deal in illusions, man. None of it is true. But you people sit there day after day, night after night, all ages, colors, creed. We're all you know. You're beginning to believe the illusions we're spinning here. You're beginning to think that the tube is reality and that your own lives are unreal. You do whatever the tube tells you. You dress like the tube. You eat like the tube. You raise your children like the tube. You even think like the tube. This is mass madness, you maniacs. In God's name, you people are the real thing. We are the illusion. So if you want the truth, go to God.
Ancient Egypt was invaded by spherical UFOs, which were described as circles of fire.
J'ai aperçu une créature d'environ 2 mètres qui était couverte de plumes. On aurait dit un oiseau géant qui ressemblait à un homme. Il se tenait droit, le cou rentré dans les épaules, un peu comme ça.
Il ne se passe désormais plus un jour sans qu'on atteste d'une apparition du Mossman. Le pilote Everett Wedge est l'un des hommes les plus respectés de Point Pleasant. Alors qu'il survole en avion l'aérodrome, il aurait été dépassé par le mystérieux volatile.
Il était tellement gros qu'il aurait pu m'attraper et m'emporter. Il était vraiment impressionnant.
Reports of red eyes. Why is that?
Why their eyes are red, I have no idea. But the bigger, massive, shadowy looking beings, they also seem to have red eyes.
He said the supposed spirits of the dead that you're talking with are demon spirits.
Dans cette maison, des impacts de coups apparaissent sur les murs sans que personne ne comprenne pourquoi et comment. Tout laisserait penser à une supercherie sans cette scène enregistrée par une caméra de télévision. En effet, les murs présentent d'incontestables traces de coups et des trous impressionnants qui se seraient formés tout seuls. Un phénomène aussi inquiétant qu'inexpliqué. Un mois auparavant, un voisin est mort au premier étage et depuis sa veuve procéderait à des cérémonies de spiritisme.
Wish fulfillment? 3 wishes to be exact. And ixnay on the wishing for more wishes. That's it. 3. One of those 3. No substitutions, exchanges every time.
That the priest mentioned to us that the time had arrived for us to start trusting the spirits and give the spirits a chance to work for us. And there was a number of gifts that you could choose from. He says, I want power, I go right to the source of power. And he says, how do you think that I became famous the way that I am?
Robert Johnson is considered the king of the belt of movies. He's also considered the father of rock and roll. It is very significant that Johnson would be considered the father of rock and roll, as there's a legend that he had sold his soul to Satan in Clarksville, Mississippi, in exchange for guitar playing abilities of worldwide fame.
Well, they say he sold himself to the devil. That's what they say.
I heard a lot of people say that he
After Johnson's alleged pact with Satan, everything changed, as Johnson went from being the worst blues guitarist in a matter of months to the best.
I think he's the greatest folk blues guitar player ever lived.
Some musicians who knew Johnson claimed that Johnson himself admitted that he sold his soul to Satan.
I never seen him have to practice, anything like that. Never seen him sit down and learn a song. He already knew it. Once he attempted to play it, he knew it. He had a built-in computer. Everything he heard was there. All he had to do was punch the button.
It is not so surprising for a lot of people that there are covens amongst the very educated class, architects, doctors, lawyers, priests, brokers, and the leisure class.
These are people who have made pacts with the devil.
That's right. The more accurate way of describing it would be that they have indulged themselves in the worship of Satan, and they lead perfectly normal lives. They're jewel merchants, they travel, they're prominent in their own way, but they do have this indulgence.
If somebody were to make a pact with the devil, obviously the implication is if the devil is there to make a pact with them, to make a deal, to make their life, their short mortal life on earth pleasurable, with money or women or travel,
more interesting,
whatever it is they want, then they are aware of the presence of the devil, and they are obviously aware then of the presence of God as well, and they nevertheless make a conscious, stupid, short-term, blind choice to take what they can get in this lifetime.
It is very not easy to understand, except when you talk with them, when they let their hair down and peel grapes, as we say, and when they're on their way to being cured of what or healed is the proper word. You find that there's an exhilaration and a satisfaction which is both sensual and sexual and mental when they really indulge in Luciferian worship. A peculiar exhilaration.
Like a drug, then?
Yes, it's a peculiar exhilaration. And of course, the godly instincts in us all, the angelic in us all, because we all have something angelic and something godly, besides everything else, a lot of other negative things, that is quenched. And you find in them a horror of anything what we call sacred and holy, or sacrosanct. The idea of the sacred, of the awesome.
You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference. The unique thing that I'd like to point out for the most part is that the entities that we did catalog were in fact humanoid.
the aliens, genetically manipulating mankind and creating a hybrid race of alien reptilian humans who became known as the Nephilim. The Nephilim are also known as the Elohim in the Bible. This was a genetically created race of rules which had their human DNA mixed with that of the invading Canaanite aliens.
Because we're aliens. And that's how we roll. Hulu, an evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy.
You have individuals that look very much like you and myself that could walk among us and you wouldn't even notice the difference.